It's Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 massive stories to get through in just 5 minutes, so we better get going. Story number 1, the Reserve Bank Board has left interest rates steady and forecast that headline inflation will fall more, but underlying inflation still has a way to go.
That's right. That pretty much means that there isn't going to be a rate cut anytime soon. It was the second last meeting of the year for the central bank, 12-month anniversary since it last lifted rates. The most important commentary came around underlying inflation. That's the rate the Reserve Bank likes to look at when considering interest rates. It remains too high, won't hit 3% until the middle of next year. Won't be till the end of the following year that it hits 2.5% according to the Reserve Bank forecast. It's just easing more slowly. The labour market remains tight. Total demand for goods and services still exceeds total supply. That's a real problem. The headline rate's low due to those energy rebates that we've all received. At least the Reserve Bank didn't consider a rate hike, Michael. That's the good news. The Reserve Bank also released its statement on monetary policy. Economic growth was revised slightly higher thanks to a stimulus package in China. Wages growth will slow. Unemployment will rise over the next year. Now, inflation and employment are the keys, but the Reserve Bank talked a bit about the risk to household spending not being as strong as expected and uncertainties around the global economy. They're kind of the downside risks, but I don't think we're going to get any rate cut this year, Michael.
When are we going to then, Sean? I don't mean to be impatient on this, but when? Just tell us when.
Well, what the Reserve Bank didn't do yesterday was start talking about rate cuts, and people were hoping that would happen. Instead, they kept saying we're not ruling anything in or anything out. The commentators say that the bank is now firmly neutral when it comes to rates. February next year to June, July next year, that seems to be about the time people expect the first rate cut to hit.
All right, fingers crossed. Story number 2, Sean. Voting continues in the US election with what appears to be a last-minute swing towards Kamala Harris and the Democrats.
That's true, though. Donald Trump's ahead, according to the bookies, so there's really no favourite out there. That last bit of momentum did seem to go to Harris. More than 72 million postal votes or early votes were cast. More women went early than men. Kamala Harris's final event was in Philadelphia. She had a couple of events, in fact, in Pennsylvania. Stars that came out for her included Katy Perry, Oprah Winfrey and Lady Gaga. Donald Trump, he was in Pennsylvania as well, sentimental about his last ever rally, having done it for 9 years. Podcaster Joe Rogan came out in support of Donald Trump. Mr. Trump said he would liberate the US from what he called an occupation. Pennsylvania is the crucial swing state, 19 electoral college votes. Don't think we're going to know the result for a few days yet, though.
No. Story number 3, the curse of the founder CEO has struck again with Domino's longtime boss, Don May, stepping down after 22 years running the company.
Yeah, he's actually been in the company 40 years. He's been CEO since it listed in May 2005, making it the first pizza company to list on the bourse. He actually started as a pizza delivery driver in Redcliffe in Queensland. Been a rough couple of years. The share price is down nearly 50% this year, including 6% yesterday. Since the end of COVID, it's gone from $160 to just over $30. They had same-store sales figures out yesterday, really weak in France and Japan. Problem markets for the company. Australia's doing okay. Chair is a guy called Jack Cowan, who owns 26% of the company. Think Hungry Jacks. That's Jack Cowan. There's a new CEO, a guy called Mark Van Dyke from Compass Group in the UK. Previously, he was at Coca-Cola. Mr. May is the third CEO founder to go in the past 10 days or so. Richard White from WiseTech Global went. Chris Ellison from Mineral Resources is going to go. They were more corporate governance issues rather than share price performance, though. So Don May, perhaps he shouldn't be put in that group.
Too late now. We've just done it.
True, we've done it.
All right. Story number 4, Sean. There is an election in the wind in Australia with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese telling colleagues he is confident of winning an increased majority at the next election, which is due by May.
Yeah, that's despite polling suggesting a minority government if the election is held anytime soon. It's the third last parliamentary sitting week of the year. The Prime Minister told Labor MPs that they need to get out and help set the next agenda. Key policies will be announced over the next few months. Been planning on education this week. Of course, the big one, wiping out 20% off student debts. Yesterday, the government said it would also set up a commission to set the price of university courses. For his part, Opposition Leader Peter Dutton told his colleagues to steer clear of the debate over abortion in any run-up to an election here, a federal election here. Mr Dutton said it cost the Queensland LNP votes in metropolitan seats in the recent state election.
Last one, story number 5, Commonwealth Bank will build a media arm that will compete with broadcasters and billboards to sell space to advertisers on its branches, ATM screens and mobile apps.
CommBank Connect is part of its marketing business. It's already signed up brands, Qantas, KO Sports and Myer to run ads. Commonwealth Bank will build 2,000 digital screens inside and outside its 600 branches across the country, according to the AFR. They don't think it'll make money, but it will help them pay for their own advertising. Now, owned media, which is companies selling access to their customers, is worth an estimated $4.3 billion a year. It is big business. Woolies, Coles and Chemist Warehouse already do it, charging suppliers for prominent spots on in-store screens, radio stations, magazines and social media. Seems like a lot of big business that are not media businesses are getting into the space.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thanks very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.